95% of homeowners can only have one primary residence home mortgage at a time, and no one's buying or selling on contingency. How the hell are all these sales happening? That's what I'd ask them. They're going to be like, I don't know. We got to motivate and educate them. So how do we do it? Here's how we explain it. We talk about how much housing prices go up every year, right? And I mean, it's been, on average, probably about 7% a year through here. Last year, it went up at about 9% a year. And this year they projected 10%, but we're really seeing probably something closer to 15%, okay? If you put that in on average, let's just say 12%, okay? If you, just like it was back here, all the way back in 2005, we're probably gonna at least be a 12% price increase this year. That means housing prices are going up 1% a year. You see what I'm saying? Housing prices are going up 1% a year. If you take it off the market for 60 days and the buyer doesn't perform, in theory, you could put it back up on at a price 2% higher. So if you had $1 million house, we could throw back on it, $1 million, what is that, 20,000 bucks extra? Goes up $20,000 in 2 months. And we are seeing that type of appreciation everywhere in the country. And that is why a lot of people are going to start doing it. And I want to segue into one that I know you guys want to ask that none of you do, because using that script, right, talking about home price appreciation, about how prices are going up about 1% a month nationally. And heck, most of you guys are in Southern California. It's faster than that where you live. I mean, you're red hot. So that's got to come off your tongue that prices are going up about 1% a month. So people that are waiting 2 and 3 months or waiting for kids to get out of school, I mean, that's great. Boys, that just look at the price range they're looking at and do the math. It's really freaking expensive to be lackadaisical. I mean, apathy does not pay right now. Like, you should be devastated if you miss out on an offer, right? Because if you wait 30 days, you're paying an extra 10 grand just right out of your wallet. So there needs to be pressure. They need to be motivated like that. They need to have that sense of urgency. They need that, because if they don't, they're not going to have the courage to go after aggressively with claws and teeth to get the home that they want when it hits the market. They have to be that aggressive. They have to have that confidence. Because if they're sitting around waiting for their dream house and they wait 2 years, God, they're end up paying extra $100,000. I'd much rather them get their house that they really like right now and get a bunch of equity and make a ton of money off it, and then move into their dream house later. But don't sit on the sidelines right now. You got to have money in the game, right? And that the segue that I want to make here is to one of the biggest problems we're having is the idea of actually using that as a listing script, right? Because one of the biggest, most difficult listing scripts we've got right now is dealing with clients who do not want to list their home for sale until they find the home they want to buy. And if you've got someone like that, you have a huge problem. My first advice would be to call somebody else to help them if you cannot help them, because somehow you're not getting through to them this message. Do you realize that? Because that's ridiculous. No one does that. Let me give you an example. So what you're saying is you're going to wait to find the home that you want to buy, and you're going to buy it on a freaking contingency? Seriously? Does anyone find that laughable here? I mean, that's crazy.
How about we go,
let's wait until we buy let's find a unicorn first. That's what we'll do. We'll go searching for a freaking unicorn. And after we find the unicorn, we'll saddle it, ride it, maybe go look for a freaking leprechaun, and then we'll put in an offer with your contingency and get that accepted.
I just had that conversation with the client too. And I said, well, if you don't find anything, maybe you can rent for a few months, but it's a good time to do this if you can't find the home that you want, or find someone you can live with for a little bit while you're looking for a house, but this is a good time.
Absolutely.
So sell your mediocre property. If you're in a mediocre property right now, this is the time to sell it, make the most you will ever make on it, and get into that property that you've been wanting for the last 5 years.
Right. That's right. So how do we do it? If you've got someone that's making this catastrophic error because they're stuck right now, right? They're absolutely stuck. We know that no one's doing this. Like, no one is, how many contingent offers are happening in your market right now? What is that? Less than 0.00001% of sales are contingent right now. I mean, it's probably the lowest amount of contingent offers ever. This is the market when we just talked about FHA offers not getting accepted.
We let them know right off the bat that just to not waste their time with contingencies? Do we let them know right off the bat?
Well, I think we set the listing appointment and we get in the listing appointment and we talk about it there. And then it's time to educate, right? And we have to explain to them that no one is going to accept a contingent offer right now. And then you just put them in and you explain why, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna explain why. We're gonna say, now imagine if we put your house up for sale here and you get 30 offers, which you will get, and one of them is contingent. That would be the first one we're gonna move to the side because now we have to sell their house too. And we don't even get to control what price we list it for or whether we accept any of those offers. So we're totally at their mercy and we're off the market while home prices are going up, completely tied to them. That is why no agent or seller on this planet would ever advise accepting your contingent offer, okay? So if we're talking that you have to sell your house before you buy another one, I mean, if you just need to buy and you can keep this house, it's fine, but I assume we wouldn't have this objection, right? So I'm assuming we ask that question first. Can you have two mortgages at once, okay? Like if they say no, I've got to sell this before I buy next one, then we get into this conversation because we can't have contingent offers. And then I explain to them that over 95% of homeowners can't have two mortgages either. They have to sell their existing home before they buy their new home. So if no contingent offers are happening and you yourself wouldn't have a contingent offer, yet 95% of homeowners can only have one primary residence home mortgage at a time, and no one's buying or selling on contingency, how the hell are all these sales happening? That's what I'd ask them. They're gonna be like, I don't know. How are all these other people doing it? Well, let me tell you how they're doing it. And it's how you're gonna freaking do it too. And now you're being a consultant. You're explaining to people how to get it done. See, half of you on this call right now are not gonna admit it, but you don't know either. You don't know how to do it. That's why you're stuck with listing people that don't. So we got to fix them, free them, educate them. We got to motivate and educate them. So how do we do it? Here's how we explain it. There's quite a few ways to get it done. It is very easy and it's how everyone's doing it. Number one, we put your house up for sale. Okay? So we list your house. We sign the contract today. I start marketing it inside my enormous office because I'm allowed to market coming soons to people in my office. So we're going to start to try that, find that buyer right away. We're going to get photography done, stagers done. We're going to, get it all ready and put up on all our websites and our MLSs and all the magical interwebs. And that takes time. All the while, you're going to be looking for houses as I'm getting it ready to list. Then I'm going to put it live on the multiple listing service. Thousands of agents are going to see it. They're going to start looking at it online. They're going to start to show it. We're going to start to get offers. All the while you're looking for houses. Now, pretty soon offers will come in. By this time, 75% of the word our means the collective realtor industry, 75% of our clients have found a replacement property by this period. So in all likelihood, you're just gonna find the house. Guys, do you know why that is? It's because the first time they really had pressure to look. So they started looking. They think they can't find something, but they haven't been looking. They've had no pressure. So they just check an email every now and then as it comes, if they're even on a listing email. So they act like they can't find one, but they haven't really looked. You make them start looking because of time constraints, they look and they find it, and that's the way it works. Especially if you've used all of our listing techniques, showing them how house prices are going up, supply and demand's out of whack. You show them all that, they get extremely motivated. If you start showing them our graphics, right, that we keep showing you over and over again, right? If we show them how home prices always go up, and if that great recession, big scary recession of 3 years where prices dipped about 10 freaking percent, maybe 20 for about 3 years, and it came all the way back and it's just been skyrocketing ever since. If we show them that graphic, if we show them the home price appreciation graphic that I showed last time, these should all be staples, right? We've shown these to you a gazillion times. If you show them that, they realize, when's the best time to buy on that chart? Now. If they wait 6 months, or even like Felicia said, if they want to rent for 3 months, well, that's going to cost you 1% a month in home prices. So that's expensive too. They get motivated and they buy now. So 75% buy before we even get offers. That's plan A. And that's what's likely going to happen because that's what we, the royal we, that's what we experience. Don't ever speak in I's. You can be more powerful if you speak in we's and ours. Because we are a team. We are cooperating agents that cooperate with each other through a multiple listing service. Make sense? So we find that 75% sell then. Now, don't worry, okay? Don't worry, because at this point, even if we haven't found our house, we can actually, as another option, list our house with a seller contingency, right? So we can actually, most states have this, California certainly does, where you can actually make the sale of your existing property contingent upon you finding a replacement property. Did you guys all know that? There is a form. So in other words, if you can't find a replacement property, you don't have to sell your existing house. And guess what? No buyer on this planet is going to care because right now you have a house for sale, which is close to the same worth as having a blood diamond. You know, they will scratch and claw and kill for your blood diamond. They will certainly accept a seller contingency. I'm yet to hear someone that won't accept that. And if they don't, get rid of that offer, look at the next offer because you got 30 of them.
Yeah, my buyer did that recently, and the people already had a home, but it hadn't closed yet, but they moved forward with it.
Oh,
yeah. That was after getting like 6 offers on other homes. So
that's right. That'll do it. Yeah. Blood diamonds. That's what we're selling, blood diamonds. So it makes it very easy to sell them because everybody will make every concession to get the deal done. Thank you, Felicia. Yeah, that's exactly right. So you'll have nobody that has any problem with that. So that's what I explained next. So if you don't find one, you're not going to be living under a freeway overpass homeless. I mean, you can just stay in your house. So that's plan B. And if for some reason that doesn't work, I don't know why that wouldn't work, but let's say that doesn't work, we can always ask for an extended closing period. Guess what? You're the seller. You're in a much different social class than buyers. Like in the feudal system, you're royalty and they're peasants. So they are going to do whatever royalty says. And if royalty, because you're the seller, you call the shots. If royalty says, hey, to accept your offer, Mr. Buyer, you freaking peasant, you better give me 90 days to close. I mean, whatever, sir, sire, you know, no problem. Okay? So that's a medieval reference. So please don't take that as some sort of like social thing. I'm talking about Arthur and Knights of the Round Table there. Feudal system. Okay, so there's nothing, yeah. So that's just going off of weird medieval history. So, so that is that, Knights of the Round Table. So that's plan B or C, okay? Plan D is you can rent it back. You can stay in it and pay rent to the seller if they close. There are so many different ways to skin this cat. You will not be living homeless. That's what they're really afraid of, is living homeless. So we have seller contingencies, we can extend closing periods, we can lease back, and guess what? You're the seller, so the world's your oyster. It's whatever you say, my wish is your command. It's not a problem because you're the seller. The buyer's gonna say yes, yes, yes to anything you say to get that offer under contract. That's why it's never been a better time to sell, even if you don't know, of course you don't know what house you're gonna buy. If you saw your dream house right now,
like a delay.
It's going to have 30 offers on it. If it doesn't have 30 offers on it, something's wrong with it and you don't want it anyway. That's why everybody knows you must list first, then buy in a red hot seller's market. Don't be a freaking moron. Don't say that last part, but you got it. That's how I want you to pound it home. Like it is matter of fact because you have to be that confident with it. You know I'm right. There aren't people running around writing contingent offers right now. So they're all doing it this way. They're sticking their neck out a little bit, but it's not even really out. Not when we have seller contingencies, not when we have lease backs, not when we have extended close periods. But the last thing we want to do is be a kid in a candy store when the candy store is locked, which means, oh, wow, I'm going to put a contingent offer on a property with my house not even on the market. And I see my dream house that I've been waiting to come up for sale for years, and now I'm the kid at the candy store banging on the window, and it's Sunday morning and it's closed because no one's going to even let me in the door because I don't even have my house on the market yet. Crazy.